Hello everyone, welcome back with one more session. Prime time, BITSAT prime time with Masterclass Space at 9 o'clock. And today it is going to be a very important session because we are going to discuss some important topics. So what are those important topics? The topics are related to grammar subject. So today, instead of going depth in this subject, we will discuss 5 important topics that have highest weightage in BITSAT, and almost 60 to 70% questions come from these topics. Okay, so we will discuss all one by one and we will get to know how it works. All right, so get ready. First is subject-verb agreement. Remember, subject-verb agreement has highest weightage in your BITSAT exam. And to understand subject-verb agreement, what you need to do, just you need to understand rule, how to spot subject, and rule for verb. Remember, there are two different rules for plural form of subject and verb. Remember, when we add ACS with verb, it becomes singular. On the other hand, when we add ACS with noun, it becomes plural. Therefore, there are two different rules. Hence, you should be quite cautious, okay? So the first is subject-verb agreement, and important is how to spot subject and then how to identify verb. Second is tenses. You know, the length of the tenses is quite high. I mean, number of tenses are 12. And therefore, going through the rules of all 12 tenses will be very difficult. All right. Therefore, what you need to do, you need to be very specific about what tenses. So, important topics from the tenses are, first is your present, first is your past simple tense, then present perfect tense, then present simple tense. So these are very important tenses that are tested in your tenses. And after that, you can go with the past perfect one. So present simple, present perfect, past simple, past perfect, in some cases continuous. But these 4 topics are very important. Let's move to the third important topic, and that is prepositions. So preposition means what? In, at, on, to. So this is also very important, but you have not to go in depth of all the preposition topics. You should be very specific about it. All right. Now the next fourth is articles and determiners. Remember, there is difference between what? Between what you say determiners, I mean adjective and determiners. Therefore, you need to cross check that what are the parts of adjectives and what are the parts of determiners. So simply determiners and adjectives can replace each other. However, article is also the part of determiners. So simply whatever we add before noun to connect, to add extra information into noun becomes determiners, and therefore you need to be very cautious about it. Next is modal verbs. You know, there are many numbers of models like can, could, shall, should, will, would. So these are the topics, those are models. But all the modal verbs are not important. Mainly must, may, can, would, and in some cases some other one. But these are the important ones. So 5 topics that are very crucial for your, what you say, grammar, that carries almost 70 to 80% weightage, and hence you should look at this part. All right. Now let's move to preparation strategy. So, you know, recalling grammar or working on grammar or going in depth of grammar is quite challenging. And therefore, what you need to do, just simple, follow intermediate, Cambridge intermediate grammar. It has some rules you can go through, and along with it has some exercises that you can follow. So need not to read everything, just read some important rules and do mock test more. What if you want to understand these topics in detail? Then you can join our crash course for a whole what you say BITSAT preparation, and then you can get the lot of practice questions, section test and test. But what if you do not want to do with the crash course? Then your strategy should be just revision of the topics of the name I have mentioned, 5 topics, along with some practice questions. So 5 or 10, max to max 20 practice questions. If you do with each topic, you will be quite strong. And after that, your job will be just to work on your sectional test and mock test. Mock test. Now, if you want to give final push to your preparation, of English section, then what you need to do? First, revision of the topics, especially the grammar topics that I have said, because the weightage is almost 70 to 80%. Then what you need to do sectional test based on the topics. And after that, make an error log. Based on error log, you can go to the next one, and that is test. So after each test, you will realize that where do you make mistake, what are your common concern, what more you need to do, and then you can do well. All right. So this is all for today. Just reminder, every day at 9 o'clock, we appear before you to talk about preparation strategy for BITSAT. That is called Prime Time, BITSAT Prime Time with Masterclass Space at 9 o'clock. Tomorrow, Monday, it is going to be a special session because our two experts, Aditya Shankar and Atul Verma, will be with you to answer your questions, and we pick questions that are commonly asked by the students or the students who drop message or mail us to know. You, if you want to join live session, you can join also. All right. So let's connect tomorrow at 9 o'clock to discuss about specific questions related to BITSAT preparation, BITSAT strategy, BITSAT college, BITSAT scholarship, and what after BITSAT or after college, I mean after engineering, what is next. All right.